Welcome back to the Transported Mind Studio. Today we bring to you more amazing movie stories. Stay connected. On paper it still made you want an uninhibited B-series, an acid trip of a Jason Statham who will, Stathamer, a Megalodon, this prehistoric shark of more than 20 meters. The film could go in every possible direction, pure horror like Jaws, or the big disembodied blockbuster like Piranha 3D. It will not be any of that, since In Troubled Waters is a passable and lazy B-series, barely wild, gory and trash. A nauseating B-series. As is often the case, Warner Brothers did not bring its courage with both hands. Instead of making an R-rated film, violent, trash, gore and funny, which would have been the perfect classification for this kind of film, the studio prefers to release a gritty, survival, with a giant shark. Jason Statham grumbled, and we understand that. What a shame to limit oneself to a film for all audiences with this starting premise. There were all the ingredients to get a violent and uninhibited horror film like Piranha, yet the filmmaker does not do anything. Warner prefers to stay in the usual shackles of the genre, place Jason Statham in an interesting romance and punctuate the catatonic whites with dubious valves. No Troubles has totally missed its boat. What should have been a brainless horror blockbuster is ultimately a very wise film in which Jason Statham confronts as best he can a megalodon materialized with special effects from the early 2000s. The scenario is lazy, the story repetitive and the pace punctuated by sentimental pauses more deadly than the fangs of the prehistoric shark. The characters are insipid and Jason Statham is true to himself as a tired and violent anti-hero, ready for the worst sacrifices, although this is not his biggest role. The film completely misses its potential, especially when the Megalodon finally approaches the big cities and an overcrowded beach, to simply make a small round and leave. The filmmaker held there the culmination of his film, the gore scene that should not be missed. Jon Turteltaub could have swam in the footsteps of Piranha 3D in its superb scene of extreme violence, shredded nests, floating penises and hemoglobin not knowing what to do with it. There was material to offer a great pop, horror, comic and trash scene to the public. It will not be so. In Troubled Waters is a very wise and conventional film. Rather than offering a truly trashy and violent film, it is necessary to furnish the lack. The filmmaker therefore prefers to stage an empty romance between Statham and his sweetheart, a confrontation between Statham and his former colleague, and stage non-existent secondary characters full of cliches. No Troubles has nothing to offer other than its Megalodon. It's poorly filmed, poorly written and poorly exploited. The tension is non-existent, light years away from that proposed in Jaws. In Troubled Waters can't even reach the tension of Survival Instinct, a little shark movie that went unnoticed. Like What Size is not everything. In Troubled Waters is symptomatic of Hollywood convention. Studios prefer to sabotage their films to reach the maximum audience rather than let a filmmaker go to the end of his vision. Instead of having a violent and uninhibited B-series classified R, we get a bland shark hunt ultra-serious addressed to the general public. It does not work. You can't change and butcher a film to make it suitable for the general public. In Troubled Waters was destined for something else. We will nevertheless keep a scene where the Megalodon tries to swallow a protective chamber and where Jason Statham confronts the monster directly in the water. The only scene that is really worth seeing, well-paced, impressive and controlled. Morality is also relatively interesting, especially in the way man approaches unknown things, through violence. A rare new creature that should be protected is hunted and killed by the hand of the human being. In Troubled Waters is passable entertainment for shark and Jason Statham lovers. But the feature film misses its very essence and prefers to present itself as a lazy and tasteless B-movie rather than a joyful bloodbath. More hidden gems and epic endings are coming your way, so hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell. You don't want to miss what's next. This was the Transported Mind Studio, bringing stories to life. Until the next reel, stay curious.